Welcome back to the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods. So we're back out here at the 100 acres today. Let's see, so the day's Saturday, so Thursday we got a little over half an inch of rain. So with how dry things were, we thought it'd be dry over here, but it's pretty tacky and wet. You can see there's a fair amount of standing water. But we have this sycamore tree that we took down about a month ago that's in our path. So gonna get this pulled out of here and probably just get it up that way a little bit since it's so wet, instead of destroying paths by dragging it all the way out. But gonna get this opened up. We have a big hole here from the stump, and probably just kind of cover it over just so we can get through, and then get back to the other side and just do a little bit of observation and see how things look, since it's been a while since we've been here, since we've been doing a lot of camp videos and just haven't made it over as much. So we're gonna check on things and see what all we can get done today. It is supposed to rain later today, so we're gonna be time limited by that, so we'll just play it by ear and see what happens. So here's that sycamore that was down across the path. Went ahead and just pulled it up here to the 800 because the path is pretty wet. So instead of making a mess of the path, we're just putting it here. And I can work on cutting it up and pulling it out in the otter at some point. So this is a spot that had the sycamore tree stump. It was also a kink in our path back just past the 800. So getting the root ball filled in where it was and just kind of getting it leveled off and then kind of straightening the path out there. And then moving back to the 1000, there is an area that keeps slumping off, so this is getting that dirt moved. And we had a couple trees fall across the path, so this is cleaning up one of them. I was able to get tied to the front of the otter, pull it out, and start cutting it up to throw off into the ditch on the side. So as you've seen, kind of in that time lapse, had several trees that were down across the path. So we haven't been over here since the tornadoes and stuff that came through the area. So the property never really got hit. The town just southwest and southeast of here did get hit, but here just had wind damage that blew limbs and stuff and tops out of trees. Nothing too bad though. But it did leave some widowmakers, so have like this one here. The top's fairly well broken out of it, but not completely. And it's kind of held up in those cherry trees over there. So there's stuff like that that have to be cognizant of and just kind of keep an eye on, hoping that, you know, a future storm will go ahead and take the rest of those down. But overall, not a whole lot of stuff down, just little things here and there that have gone across the path. So I've been working on getting those cleaned up. Dad's on the B2150, and he's the 1,000-yard target. So that is the one that's cut into the big spoil pile at the very back. So that one, it keeps slumping off. So getting the dirt moved from there and creating kind of a path out. And there's also a couple trees that had gone down back there. So I worked on getting those pulled out and through them just over the edge. It was some small cedar and stuff that was kind of dead anyway. So kind of got some of that stuff cleaned up. Got the sycamore tree pulled out that was in the path, and got that path kind of created. It's pretty wet, like I mentioned before, so not able to do a whole lot, just because with it being so wet, you're just kind of mushing mud back and forth instead of packing it in. But at least made it passable so we could get back here. So we can drive up, but basically right up there, so just right up there is the end of this path, and then we kind of get back into the thickets of woods. So this is the south side of the property, and we're working toward the west. So eventually, if you keep taking this across, you'll run into the pond that we have at the front of the property. So the idea is to get a complete path around. So we have kind of the path that goes across the property is the main one that like the targets are on, and then this we're working on a path that goes back along the south property line. The property line, so since these are old spoil piles, this is kind of, we're taking a ridge here, there's another ridge over there, and the property line's just on the other side of that ridge. So just staying over a ridge, kind of riding it across. I'll try to keep the high ground like this because it is beneficial when it starts raining, that all the water then goes to the bottoms and you don't have this become just a soupy mess. You have, you know, spots that will hold water but not terrible. We do kind of have a spot we want to get to, so I did mark it out on kind of what the best route would be and just kind of follow that along. So I think he's going to come back here with the tractor and just kind of working some of this in and getting some of it graded. A look at the end of our path. Again, gonna take a look here. So we got this sycamore tree pushed over and dug out with the 62. When we have it over here again, we'll cut it off and get some of that drug out. No reason to waste that as firewood. Probably do some of the same with this. And then got some of this filled in here. It's kind of just a dead tree, so we pushed it in, and you can see some of this has been slumping off. So kind of start building this up, and again, becomes a thicket. Here's another one of the ribbons on this tree. So right now with it, let's see, so it's not even May yet and it's already starting to get pretty thick through here, but there's another ribbon up a little way, so just kind of put a handful of them. But if we had kind of a goal for this summer, it would be to get this path created and passable by the end of the summer. It'd be nice to have that, just because then we'd have a path all the way around where we could take the Otter or the 62, something like that, all the way through. So this is only the second time I think we've had this out here with the roof and everything, so still liking that. And then since there's the chance of rain today, it's nice having some cover just in case it does decide to rain. Can get stuff thrown in under the cab and then not get completely soaked, because that has happened at least once before, where come over here, a pop-up shower decides to happen, which here in southern Indiana is pretty standard, and just get a short little downpour and then it'll clear up. So it's a possibility of one of those today, so we'll just have to hold out and see how the day goes and see what we get into next. So this is where we stopped last time on the south path. So just kind of seeing how we take that hill down and added it to the low spot behind it to build that up. And that's where the B2150 comes in handy, because you're able to work in small spots like this and just start chipping away at the path. And as you put dirt down, you constantly drive over it, so it ends up making a harder path by constantly putting dirt down, driving on it, and getting it packed in. Had a tree in the way that we were going to go over, so instead of taking the root out, we just pulled it out and put it off to the side. So over on the right hand side, there's a pretty big hole there, so from where I'm standing down, it's probably 30 to 40 foot difference. And from where the tractor's at, that's probably about 10 to 15 feet. So just working on getting most of the a lot of this ground has just had leaves and things, been falling on it for years, so it creates kind of a mossy kind of mess that holds water. So kind of got it scraped off, and then got this tree out so we could eat the dirt away from this hillside, and then just getting it cut up to throw down in this hole. Then using the B2150 here, see just working the dirt down that path and kind of creating a bridge over this hole over to where we want to get across. Quick update, right down there is where we started, so that was the little bit of a ditch that was there. So we came up this hill, got graded across. So instead of trying to take out those trees there, we just went around them. There's a big hole on this side. So took all of this dirt out and a tree, put it down there in that hole, and working on getting across over here. So even with all this, we're about less than halfway across. So we're going to just widening this out so the tractor can get through. And that is a 5-foot box blade, and the outer is about 5 feet wide. So any place that box blade can go, the outer will go as well. But just trying to get things widened out so that there's plenty of room. So once we got across, got turned around and started eating the hill from the other direction, just kind of widen that path out with the dirt that was on this side. Just worked on getting it pushed out and creating a spot that was wide enough for the tractor, and then got turned around and pushed this tree out and started getting able to get past there. And there's another pretty good sized hole, and didn't want to go down in it to the left and take out some of the bigger trees, so here we're eating into the hillside and kind of getting some of the dirt pushed down. You can see basically just eating the hill and keep working everything forward, again driving over it numerous times. And this hill that he's eating into gets steeper as you go to the left, so after kind of getting the initial part down, he switched to then taking some of the dirt that was built up and pushing it further over, and then starting to create more of a ramp to the bottom of this kind of ravine that was here, so we can then work on getting up on the other side. So again, you can see just kind of breaking up the dirt and constantly driving over it. And then here, just checking on the weather because it looks like we're about to get rain and there are thunderstorms moving in. Okay, so we're going to get cut out by the rain here, but basically we've gotten down this incline, down into that hole, kind of getting the spot over there. So just kind of a recap of what we got done. So we got through here. We got this spot here filled in. Hard to catch on camera exactly what, but that's all fill that we've done this go around. Got this all eaten out. I had a tree here that we took out. And then coming through, we got up this little hill, and right down there in that valley is where we started. So footage wise, I don't know, we got maybe 300, 400 feet, but got a lot of dirt moved. So starting the truck back out of the woods, it's a little over a mile back our path. So thank you for watching the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods. Continue watching as we work over here on this path on the south side so we can get it connected back so we have a path all the way around. And if you like this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. We'll catch you next time.